Or should I put it right there?
Yeah, sure.
See, I need to. That was me too.
Yeah.
I had to have the antibiotic.
Yes.
So
Did your water too early?
Oh no, because I like GPS.
Alright, we are going to come through for this moment of Kelly. I added one more after that I didn't fit into the thing. Just because.
I was trying to put some of my elements of story into this too, and that was my sibling.
Yeah. So it is fun to see it all together because to me, the through lines are like, well, there's some practical through lines, like we love a mom laying down, and I love that. And so I'm wondering if you do that in your current work, and if we can incorporate and do that more. There's also an energy behind all these photos, like it looks like a moment in time. So like, this blanket that's flowing, this dappled light is giving me that vibe to this mom who like just had all the kids climbing on her. It looks like something is frozen in time, which I think is really special and beautiful. Same with this reach. There's like so that to me is what creates, the word that's coming to my mind is tension, but I mean it in a positive way, like an interesting interplay between the subjects and what you want them to be doing. And also there's like this, but it's this, it's also a dichotomy of like, we love closeness, but also we love like a separateness too, and like that tension of, and I think it's so fascinating to connect this to women and your own personal story of like, and all of our work does connect to our own personal stories, of course, because that's how artistry works, but like close, but also this like pulling and something that doesn't feel as close, but still feels beautiful. And so, I mean, I'm gonna let you like draw the parallels to your own story, but that's, yeah, beyond just the kind of more obvious through lines, like versus Kelly likes white. I love it.
Yes,
Kelly just she shared that.
I know I kind of like panicked when I heard that everyone's gonna be wearing bright colors. It's so fun.
Not everyone. But the other thing is that like a style does not have to be that your client's wearing things. Okay, so we have a collage and then some.
Yeah, that's just like my Instagram right now, just to show like,
Cool, a vibe.
yeah. It's like very orangey.
Oh yeah, come see the photos in the natural habitat.
It does
on
up
there.
there.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah, the TV doesn't render it on that super well. Yeah, this to me totally speaks to the dream portfolio of like a moment in time and frozen emotion. This is gorgeous.
Is this the dream portfolio or
This is her work. Okay. Yeah, this is stunning and totally in line with your dream stuff. So then, I mean, these types of moments, I feel like you're just some tweaks away from like you saying that you want to be consistent, and I'm like, you are consistent, girl, but there are some tweaks that you can make to like tighten that consistency a little more. So
I have a question real quick. Do you
Yeah.
mind if I just like record this so that I can
it's being
remember
recorded.
it? Oh,
Yeah, so we can send this to you.
that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I try to do that instead of taking notes, so I can be like.
Yeah. So these like brown pops of brown, I personally would try to just steer them even just moving your body ever so slightly, and then we don't have a moment where we're like, what's the thing in the corner? Our eyes always go to the points of highest contrast, and so if we have a pop of dark amidst all the light, then that's going to jump out at us. And I do think it would be stronger if we had them jumping facing each other as opposed to him behind him. So when you see something like this happening and it's so great and you don't want to mess it up, then I would take this shot and then I would ask them to switch, like change, make those little tweaks. And yeah, you might ruin it. And okay, that's fine. You're gonna get another something later. This is beautiful.
That's my daughter.
Yeah. Yeah, so I see in your portfolio that you really pay attention to those, like the story of hands and the way that limbs interact with one another. It sounds so creepy.
I love photos.
I do like,
Yeah.
I like. And so, you can, to me though, like seeing, and maybe I'll see a little bit more, but to me, it's, there are things that you can do on autopilot. And so I wonder if this is something that you know you can kind of turn out pretty consistently. And when that is true, for whatever, if it's an element, we're gonna talk about this later, if it's an element of story that you feel like, I can do that with my eyes closed, it's fine. That's so great, because, but then I want you to shift your focus somewhere else, because you know, I have that as a habit. Like, think about anything in your life that you're like, that's a habit, it's solid, you don't have to think about it. So I think that's true for you with the hands. And so that doesn't mean that you don't incorporate it on purpose or that you don't have to like remember to do it, but that you no longer need to focus on it. You can free up your mind to focus on something else. So sweet. We have a gorgeous kitchen and a gorgeous baby and a gorgeous mom and a gorgeous dad.
I love his lead.
Yeah, it's a
Good
good.
lead.
If I'm gonna be nitpicky, the only thing that I would nitpick is this faucet.
Yeah.
And it's just a little like, here. So
Would you just like
I probably would just,
take that out in post, or you would just?
I would probably crop it out personally, because
Okay.
I don't think we need all of
Yeah.
this, because if you shift your body, you're gonna, I mean, you might be able to if you have room, but you don't wanna risk losing their faces, and this photo is over, so you can just crop it out, right, and make it all the stronger. Sweet, sweet little detail. I also just I'm just wondering if there's like an element of doing some of these detail shots from obligation. Because I don't, and this is gorgeous, but I don't really see any of it in your dream portfolio as much. And so we haven't, gotten a deep dive into your work, so we don't know like if this is something that is an important detail to you, but I do want you to give yourself permission to go after the details that are important to you. Oh, so sweet. I would just close this head gap right here. That's all. Gorgeous. So with, do you know what I'm gonna say?
Are you gonna talk about like crop and the bottom part of it,
Color.
or?
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about the lines and just everything that is, so when we're doing, this photo to me is like an in-between photo, meaning it's like, what's the hero? Is the hero mom and baby and their sweet connection? Or is it an environmental portrait where it's like in a larger context of mom and baby at home? And so we haven't like consciously chosen between that at the time of snapping. And so it just creates too many visual things competing. So if you wanted it to be an environmental portrait, I would probably pop it out and do like straight, make the lines straight.
Yeah.
If you wanted it to be more about like them with just a hint of other, like a hint of home, or we're outside but we're at home, I would probably go over here and shoot it down that galley. So
It's
that,
funny, like I have both of those in
oh,
in a
okay,
gallery.
yeah,
I think like what I loved about this, you're right, like I loved the gentleness of it. Like one of my, are we talking about our elements? of the
Yeah.
story? Okay, I didn't know if we're doing that later or something.
no, we're doing that now.
One of mine is the peaceful intimacy of family. And that's something that I saw a lot in my dream portfolio. There's this like, peacefulness that comes from the safety of being in family. And that's what that look to me is, like on her face and on his face right there. So
It's beautiful.
that's probably why I was drawn to this, even though it was, like you said, like I do have some like way pulled back images and have lots more that are actually shot that way.
Yeah,
But I
yeah,
think it's the expression that I love on this image.
Yeah.
that got me.
yeah, and that's super great, and as you keep making little tweaks, you'll be able to elicit that expression in the scenario, the environment that you want to. This is really sweet. I love this. If I'm gonna be nitpicky, I would just have her lean towards you. Even though there's a baby on her hip, that's where it always feels, I always say it feels so weird,
Yeah.
but it was so good. And you're gonna have to be ready for that, because you can't hold, your center of gravity's off and you got a kid on you, like you can't hold that for very long. So, but this is beautiful setting.
So I put this one in because this is film, and in my dream portfolio, majority of those images are film. Which I keep, I'm drawn to my dream portfolio. I'm not super drawn to it in my own that I'm shot very much. Like in my 5 girls that I've shot, I don't love them.
Yeah,
But that was kind of, I want to put
Yeah.
this in as like representation.
yeah. I do think you should give it a chance, not for the result, but for the process, to see if you like the process better. Because you do like love this peaceful, gentle, like I'm just going like this. It's so funny. You love that aspect so much. I do think film supports that the creation of that feeling a little bit more, in the process is slower. And you might decide that you want to do things hybrid, but I wonder if you would just like the process better, because this one, the one at the beginning, this one, I mean, I can tell that my guess would be it's not filmed because it's a little sharper, but it looks very cohesive. It still looks cohesive with this. So I think you would be a successful hybrid photographer, is what I'm saying. But I also want you to give yourself a chance to just play and experiment with different processes and see like which one do I just gravitate towards more. You have to love your tools as much as anything. And that for me is why I continue to shoot film, because I love the feel of that camera. Like we have a love affair on our camera. So that's what I want for you, and whether that's digital or film or both, like you have to have that just like chemistry with each other. So this is super pretty. I do love the film bokeh. The one thing I would say is we just have a lot of head. Yeah. So lots of times when I'm having moms interact with babies, if they're on a mom's hip or just at her face level, I either try to bring the baby up closer to mom's face, or I just have mom look at the baby but not put her head down. And so a lot of times too, if you're trying to get like a kiss or a nuzzle on the top of the head, I'll have her rest her chin or like smell into their hair, but not actually smell into the forehead or like look down, right? Because then you get too much on the head and you get double chin. Yeah. So the face is just a tad bit buried, but I have confidence that you would fix that. Okay, so let's talk about elements project. These your story of family and the reasons why that you're not making the work that you see in your dream portfolio are more for your own processing than they are for like us. You know, you did like explain to all of us.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
more for your own self.
Okay.
So do you have thoughts on a project?
Yes, kind of. So my thought that I'm leaning towards is like doing a shoot or two, but not bringing my digital camera at all, just
Okay.
doing films. I only want to do that with like a mock call shoot. I don't want to do that. I would feel
Yeah,
I would not enjoy it, nor would feel comfortable
yeah,
in a shoot where
Yeah,
somebody's
definitely.
expecting something.
definitely.
But I thought about that. I thought about just trying to like, because some of the stuff that I've done, I shoot my film camera. It's funny hearing you talk about your camera. I shoot my film camera and I'm like, okay, but let me get my digital to like, you know, like this is my camera. And I want to get that shot. And so even when I've caught my rolls back and I've taken like the same shot, I think I don't know. I like my digital better inside for sure. So
Great.
so it was kind of like I shoot midday and for my outside both, but for my outside shoots I shoot midday, and so I really wanted to see if like film would work well for me, and putting all the light and
Yes.
so my issue is like January is just not in Arkansas, it's just too cold to go outside with, especially with my children. So it would be like an inside thing. So
But you don't
I
want
wanna
to shoot
sabotage
film
myself.
inside.
Well, I want to be able to shoot film well
Have you-
inside, but
Okay, you did say you shot.
it was fine. I just, and I would have put it in their gallery if I didn't have a digital of the same, but I was like, yeah. that's
Then
fine.
why are we caring about film right now? I'm
Right.
just not confused.
Well, I am too.
Okay.
Mostly because I keep being drawn to film images. And so it's like, that's when I'm looking at like, or if I'm scrolling and something stops me because I'm like, that's beautiful. 75 to 80% of the time it's film. And I keep like following these film photographers, you know, and it's like, so then I just see more film.
Yeah.
And you know, what used to be is sometimes it's like familiarity bias too. Like I used to be like, I don't want all that grain, but now it's, you know, I see it more, I'm drawn to it more. So in so many ways, I don't want to learn something different. I don't want, you know, I have real concerns. I do a lot with toddlers. I have real concerns about the like missing shots and not knowing it, you know, with the toddler, the movement. And so like there's a lot of reasons why I don't want to do it, but I just feel like I keep, if what I love to look out for dream portfolio includes that, then I feel like I want to give it like a good, what is it, a good
Whatever.
college try or whatever, you know, like I want to give it 6 months of really pouring into it to see, am I making progress here, or is it just something that's not what I want to do right now, or I just want to keep it for personal. But so I think that when I'm always like using my digital as my crutch, then I'm not. So that's why I thought for this project, just doing something where I'm like leaning just on my film, and then I'm not comparing it, and I'm not. But just fleshing that out is hard for a January thing. And honestly, I am low volume, and I think I told you that on the phone. I think I like have boundaries, and I'm pretty good at them, and I'm not taking any more clients for January. You know, so, and I don't shoot a lot anyway. I mean, like 5 sessions in a month is all I want to do.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to add in a bunch of this. So I got to figure out how to logistically make it work in January, inside or outside, or pick a new project.
Yeah, it sounds like outside is a no, so we're gonna put that to rest.
Okay.
So does the idea of doing it inside though attract you at all? 'Cause that's my wondering.
Not really, because my other thing that I had thought about was actually that my portfolio is so white like, obviously I like the color white and all that, but I mean like, it's, no, I mean
People.
skin color,
Oh.
white. Not just white, but like beautiful thin and white, you know, and I just want some more diversity to my portfolio. So I had been thinking for this model session, I really intentionally wanted to choose somebody else.
Yeah.
But it's just harder. It's like, I don't, of the Black families that I have thought in my head, I want to approach to see if we could do a model session together. They don't have homes that I want to shoot in, of the friends that I'm thinking of.
What about a studio?
Well, I could pull them into, I have a room in my house that I use, but it's real tight. It's just, but there's not like a studio in Little Rock that I can go rent. What about Airbnb? Maybe.
Do you have friends who have a studio?
Yeah.
Because I borrowed one of my friends.
No, there's like one studio
Yeah,
for
right,
Little
right,
Rock that I know, and she's not. It's not going well.
Yeah, so because you're already sort of at max capacity for this, I would just say, how can we let this be easy? And it sounds like the way to let it be easy is to get one of those families that you're interested in, and maybe you do the whole family, maybe you don't, maybe you have part of the family for this particular project, and you have like a certain time frame or number of roles or something like that, and you do one shoot. And we can get together and work out like, here's metering, or I can look at your scans and figure out maybe some troubleshooting there. I don't think it's gonna take you 6 months to figure out if you wanna continue to use film or not. It's not gonna be that steep of a learning curve for you. It's gonna be 2 shoots, 3 shoots, maybe, before you can decide really like, okay, do I like this process or not?
I think I might know that, I don't know. I wanna say I committed to a certain time frame, because for me, a lot of times in my life, especially if I'm not immediately good at something, there are enough things that I am immediately good at that I will.
Sounds familiar.
So I kind of set that in my mind originally, because like whether I am a genius at it or whether I'm like, this is the worst ever, I'm totally fail, I wanted to give myself that very specific time to, as a discipline, to just say, this is what I'm gonna keep failing at it for this long, or keep not loving it until that's when I can say,
Okay.
feel confident that I'm not just like running away from it because it wasn't easy or good or.
Sure. So how do you feel about the idea of your room in your house with one of these
I
families?
think that probably is
Let's do
the best, easiest thing.
Let's do that.
I think I might also, I can also incorporate doing some with my kids.
Wait, no, what?
I was
What's
gonna say like,
happening?
well, I was gonna say, if I.
You're
knew
telling
someone-
me you're maxed out, and then now we're adding on more stuff.
Well, that's easy for me. It's like 10 minutes to take my kids upstairs and like go into that room and do only stuff. Yes. So I was just
Great.
saying, if I wanna do
Yeah.
more than just a one session,
Yeah,
I can pull them up there and do something.
I love it. Yep, so I would find a cool name that you like about like your film experiment, or something like along those lines. That's like very clear on what it is for yourself, so that you know it's the shoot and it's whatever I wanna do with my kids in addition. Okay, feel good?
I mean, I overthink things, so.
So we need to let this be easy, and it needs to happen through action.
Right.
So my recommendation is, instead of saying I have to commit to this for 6 months because I know that I can go my own way many times, that you just take step 1, which is this shoot, this project, this time frame, and then decide. And we're not deciding yes film, no film, we're deciding, do I want to continue for 6 months, or do I already know enough? Because there's also that, you know, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So like, when you know, it's like a relationship. When you know, but sometimes you don't know. Sometimes you need to keep dating to figure it out.
I think half my nerves are probably more about like getting like the solicitation of a model family and how to do that in a way
I have a whole script
Not
for you.
awkward.
Oh, I have a whole script for you, and it's okay if it is awkward, right?
Yeah. Maybe. I don't like awkward, so.
Okay, we will not do, I won't do all the exposure therapy that I'm planning for you, but you need to approach a mom at the heart, like I have in the past. Hey, you're so great, you need to flag people down in your neighborhood, which I have, now she's one of my best friends, like, good things come, people think you're crazy, and then until they don't. Or they do, and then it's fine, Okay, we do need to head to our shoot, so let's go ahead and pack up our things. This shoot,
Well, it was really,
yes.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I mean,